You said, wait, I don't see it clearly. I start to sweat profusely. I can tell you this now. I'm like, this is not going well. Then I was like...
You never told me.
I don't know. It's not going well. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings from Paris. It's Waco, the founder of Grail Watch, and today we're about to announce our latest collaboration. It's with Bell & Ross, an incredible and very special artist. Come with me. Ladies and gentlemen, Waco from Grail Watch. First of all, may I just say a very Happy New Year. Happy New Year, gentlemen, as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. You too?
Thank you. I'm so excited because this is the first launch of 2023.
Yes.
And it is a watch that I've been waiting for with so much anticipation, and it's one of my dream collaborations, honestly. So let me first introduce two real legends of the watch industry. Carlos Rosillo, co-founder of Bell & Ross, a brand that was founded in 1992, so as of last year celebrated its 30th anniversary. Yeah. And the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Alain Silberstein, who created his brand in 1987, so as of last year was celebrating his 35th anniversary.
2 birthdays in one.
Indeed. And what a birthday present we've given ourselves, because this is truly an extraordinary collaboration. So, you know, Alain, I know you've had an amazing renaissance in your career over the last decade and a half. I know you've done wonderful collaborations with Max Buser, for example, with Louis Héra, and if I may say also a collaboration that I'm so enamored with, our collaboration for Grail Watch 1, which was with our friend Benoît Mintien's with Renaissance.
Yes.
But I remember very clearly, and I can flash back to that exact moment when we were doing Zooms. Remember in COVID, it was all about Zooms, right? And I said, Alain, who would you want to collaborate with? And I said,
2 brands.
Exactly. And the first one was Renaissance, and the second one was?
These gentlemen.
Indeed, indeed. And I remember I was like so excited by this because I could almost imagine this sort of dream collaboration, because the iconography of what you do and what Carlos does is so profound and so clear and so distinct. But I remember when I went to you, Carlos, I didn't quite get the response I thought I'd. Can you tell us a little bit about that moment?
Yeah, I remember when you questioned about this collaboration, I said, yeah, but how do you mix 2 designers, 2 gifted designers? How do you deal with that? And you gave me the right response. The best music moments were done with 2 people who are playing good music, and when you make them play together, it's fantastic. So you convinced me with this point of view. And I think when I see the logo on this box, when I see the N% and I see the logo of Alain, this collaboration makes all the sense. And on the logo, you see it clearly.
I absolutely love this, and we're going to discover the importance of the amber stamp later on as well. You know, the amber stamp, which was your logo from the beginning, and which has always talked about collaboration between friends.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
And I also remember the moment when you said, wait, I don't see it clearly. I start to sweat profusely. I can tell you this now. I'm like, this is not going well. Then I was like,
you never told me.
I don't know. I was like, oh man, this is not going well.
You know, I can add something. About collaboration, I think in business life, one key aspect is collaboration. You never know until you have the mix of the people. And when we met with Bruno, with Jean-Paul, with Alain, with you, and you made the mix, and immediately it was easy.
Yes.
And so when you have this right mix, because at the end it's about human relation, there are no problems, only happiness.
Absolutely. Alain, do you remember that day we all came here and then we went to have lunch at this beautiful St. James Hotel/restaurant, which is kind of like your private club, Carlos, incidentally. I think there's a statue, so. They're erecting a statue of you in the courtyard. But do you remember that? It was just an effortless lunch and everyone just got on so well.
We knew for years, and when you asked me why Bell & Ross, it was so obvious for me, because Bruno's design and Carlos' ideas this is so obvious. You see, when I'm looking at the new model for whatever the brands are, sometimes I have to say why they did that, or I want to change it. I love to redesign Patek Philippe watches, Lange & Söhne. But I never had the chance to redesign Bell & Ross because it is always perfect. On a very little detail. Bruno is an amazing designer, because I never had a chance to change whatever design he did for the past 15 years, 20 years.
30 years, yeah.
30 years. And when you ask me about the brands I would love to work with, and I named, of course, Ben Ross, so Bruno and Carlos, it was quite challenging for me because I didn't have an idea how to challenge these two amazing designers. But it was so obvious, so fluid, I don't know what to say in English. I came with my artworks, Bruno
With your style? With your
my
style.
style, and we discovered that my style and design fit perfectly with yours.
For a simple reason, we have the same design philosophy,
Yes.
the Bauhaus. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Design is driven by function, and when you apply the simplicity, you go straight to the point.
Yes, because not only Philippe Dufour is talking about simplicity, we also talk about good design is first the ability to tell a nice story,
Yes.
and to give through simplicity. We have to make the selection, we have to make the pure line, as Dieter Rams used to be quoted. And simplicity is our driving word.
No superfluous detail, as Bruno used to say, no superfluous detail.
I think that, when I first saw the designs that you had mutually come up with, I was absolutely blown away because it was so Bell & Ross and it was so Alain Silberstein at precisely the same time, and it was so pure, and yet there was this dynamic tension between these two differing but complementary styles.
But try to imagine, we had one meeting, 3 watches, and
Immediately.
immediately it was okay. We just went to lunch after,
Yes.
because it was obvious.
Yeah, we didn't have to meet anymore. We could just go have some lunch and some wine. Yeah,
The good one, yes.
exactly.
The right match.
So I have arrayed here in front of me this incredible box, which, when I first look at it, I see your signature Bauhaus colors, but also this incredible logo. And this is the triptych box that will be for all the owners of watches 1 to 50, as they only come in a triptych. There will be also other watches that are individually sold,
Yes.
but this is kind of a special treat for collectors who get to have watches 1 to 50. So let's discover this together, shall we? Put this here.
Surprise.
That's amazing. That's absolutely phenomenal. And I want to flip this around so the camera can catch it. But you have here, 3 Bell & Ross BR03s, 42mm by 42mm in terms of diameter, so incredibly wearable. All in black ceramic, and we need to know why black ceramic, guys, as well. And then you see here this incredible iconography that was born in 1987, which is the language of Alain Silberstein's unmistakable hands, extrapolated first on a time-only watch with date, then in a chronograph with date, and then in an incredible diving watch with the first use of his maxi hands,
Yes.
the maxi Alain Silberstein hands. These are incredible. But please tell me why black ceramic, Alain.
For years it was for me, since the 87s, the 80s, a sort of elusive quest for the perfect black case.
Right.
So I went through a black chrome, pretty brass, PVD, CVD, DLC, and when I came for my anniversary, I asked Carlos and Bruno, will it be possible to make a black ceramic? Because I never had a chance to make a black ceramic case. And these two gentlemen told me, yes, no problem. So I'm very happy to introduce my first ceramic watch, thanks to Ben Ross. Wow.
We are honored for this kind of compliment, and what is very interesting is that here, when I see the watch, when I wear it, you understand the language of Alain, you understand the language of Bell & Ross. You have the perfect combination, and you have the expression of both of them on any of those watches. And for instance, one simple detail that we immediately agreed. Instead of having the full logo, we don't need just the N% that represents union of competence, which is the core, the soul of this project.
Exactly.
I love that.
It is that, with all the stylistic details that makes that you immediately recognize Alain Silberstein, and you immediately recognize it is a Bell & Ross, and it's the perfect combination.
I absolutely love it. I love the symbolism of the ampersand. I love the fact that it's a incredible marriage between two of my favorite icons of watchmaking. And I love the fact that by choosing the black ceramic, you've made it the most pure expression of both what you both do.
This is not a plating, this is a true material. And for sports style, I don't know how to name it, we find our way.
Well, what's incredible also is that these watches are all incredibly functional as well. So not only are they beautiful, not only I hope historic, as well as the first collaboration between Bell and Ross and Alain Silberstein, but for example, we have a friend named Jean-Paul who was working on these watches, and we gave him the opportunity to have one of these watches as well because it was a very special moment in his life. And he said, I want the diver and I will actually use it diving as well. And how cool is it that someone's actually swimming underwater and using these massive Alain Silberstein hands to like time his dive? It's incredible, you know?
Also the other reason, because when we are talking about simplicity, first of all, Ben Ross and I, we are always keen of readability. This is instrument.
Yeah.
So actually, since we share the same, I would say, tradition of readability and I would say feasibility, more simple it is, more difficult it is to master and to produce. Just to give you an example, a headache for Jean-Paul is to make a two-tone bezel, rotating bezel.
I remember this.
It looks simple. Nothing is simple. It's not simple to produce such crazy hands with a perfect lacquer. One of the most difficult things here is to make the painting, the color pusher.
Right.
This is my trademark.
Yes.
So when you say it's easy to make colored pusher, no, it's not easy because you have to make polish and it should be flat, no curve finish. This is a headache. This is a headache. But this is our way to work as far as styling is concerned, is to not to enhance, nobody has to know about the intricacy or the difficulty to produce.
Yes.
More simple it is, we have to overcome all challenges.
More apparently simple. It's actually
exactly
underlined by extreme complexity.
And those small details that makes that you immediately recognize, you understand the product, this makes the difference. And it's because we care about those details, going to the simplicity, but going right to the point that makes that, you immediately see that this is a watch that speaks immediately to the language with our common language.
Right, and the quality is exceptional. I remember you telling me also, Carlos, that just to ensure that the reset of this massive Alain Silberstein, like seconds hand, was proper every time you reset the chronograph, you had to go through so much like R&D to achieve this. So really, gentlemen, it's such an extraordinary triptych of watches. Thank you so much for this collaboration. So the time only will be made in 200 pieces. The diving watch will be made in 100 pieces. The chronograph will be made in 100 pieces. And regardless of which watch it is, all three will be featured in numbers 1 to 50 in this incredible triptych.
In this box, when you join the force, let's put together. When you see that,
this is the strength.
You see the strengths. You see the strengths. When I look at that, wow, what a trio.
It's phenomenal. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank
I'm
you
for you.
Thank you exactly. Thank you.
Somebody had to put us together. Thanks to you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alain. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.